love. But his familiar figure had already vanished into the vast sea of people. From that day on, Junha seemed to have vanished from the face of the earth. It wasn't until much later that Joo-hee learned from the recovered Tae-soo. Junha, hoping time would heal everyone's wounds, had enlisted in the army. He was about to be deployed to a distant and perilous foreign battlefield. On the crowded and clamorous train platform, Yoo-hee searched frantically for any sign of Junha. Finally, as the train began to pull away through the fogged-up window, he saw her one last time, and all the longing, heartache and sorrow finally reached their breaking point.
Where are you? Wake up.
On the train, Junha's heart was wrenched as he listened to her soulful and helpless cries. He didn't dare to face her, nor did he dare to respond, and could only force himself to keep his deep feelings buried within. Yet those heart-wrenching sobs were like a sharp blade ruthlessly tearing through his emotional defenses. Unable to hold back any longer, he finally met her gaze through his tears. In the final moment, Joo-hee took off the necklace again and pressed it into his hand through the train window. This time, it was no longer just a token of love, but a lucky charm carrying all her longing. It was her silent prayer for his safe return. Carrying the necklace to the battlefield, Junha made a silent vow. If he survived, he would defy the world, to never let their love down again. Yet fate was far crueler than he could have imagined. During a fierce battle, as his unit was forced to retreat, he suddenly realized the necklace had fallen off on the battlefield. To retrieve this token, more precious than life itself, he desperately turned back into the chaos. He found the necklace, but as he was carrying a comrade to safety, an artillery shell exploded right beside him. Years later, upon returning from service, Junha immediately arranged to meet Joo-hee, seeing her beloved return home safely at the cafe. Joo-hee wept with joy. She had been waiting for him all this time. But as they began to open their hearts to one another, Junha said calmly, "I'm already married." Those words were like a bolt from the blue, instantly shattering the joy of Joo-hee's reunion. Tears began to stream down her face. To avoid an awkward silence, Junha turned his head toward a nearby table, remarking on how exquisite the piano ornament there was. However, little did he know, the ornament had long since been moved to another table by a child sitting nearby. His carefully crafted facade was thus by a mere tiny detail ruthlessly shattered. An ominous premonition surged in Joo-hee's heart, and she subconsciously reached out her hand, waving it back and forth before his eyes. Junha didn't notice at all in that moment. The realization struck her. The man she loved so deeply was already blind. The truth was like a poisoned dagger plunging deep into her heart. She could no longer hold back her tears. All the grief, the heartache, and the despair overwhelmed her like a rising tide.
We have friends in this place. A rose-colored wand.
Realizing his charade was exposed, Junha stood up in a panic, attempting to flee only to stumble over the tables and chairs in his blindness. The boundless sorrow left Joo-hee almost breathless. She stepped forward and gently helped him up from his state of distress. With trembling hands, Junha took out the necklace he had risked his life to retrieve on the battlefield, intending to return it to her. Instead of taking it back, Joo-hee, through her tears, placed it around his neck once more. This necklace carried all of their precious memories, serving as a witness to their pure and untainted love. It had long since become a part of who she was. Later, as arranged by her family, Joo-hee married Tae-soo. At the wedding, the tears in her eyes, like glistening pearls, were forever framed in the gallery of time. Within those tears lay a deep longing for the beauty of the past, and an even deeper, endless regret for a love left unfulfilled. Years later, Joo-hee would often take her daughter to the river where they first met, staring out in silent contemplation as she was lost in her memories. Several of Junha's old comrades approached her carrying a funeral urn.
"It was just at the earthquake he couldn't hold on, and he's gone now. Don't cry."
They told her the whole truth about that meeting years ago, and Junha had never married. It was only because he was blind that he didn't want to become a burden to her, to let her move on completely and have a better future. He chose to use lies to set her free. Only after learning that Joo-hee and Tae-soo had wed, did he finally start a family and have a son. But years of heartache and physical trauma caused him to pass away early in the endless darkness. His final wish was to have his ashes scattered here, where their first love once began. In an instant, Joo-hee's heart felt as if struck by a heavy blow. her tears finally burst forth, leaving her sobbing uncontrollably. Her lover had protected her throughout his life in such a resolute and devoted way. Their love finally merged with the river where they first met, becoming an eternal regret that bound them forever. The story shifts back to the present. Ji-hai has finished telling her mother's entire story, her face clouded with melancholy. She recounts this poignant tale to her boyfriend Sang-min, who is also moved to tears after hearing it. Ji-hai thinks he is merely touched by the story, until Sang-min slowly unfastens a necklace from around his neck. He reveals the pendant that appeared so many times in the story. Ji-hai finally realizes that Sang-min is actually Junha's son. Their meeting was no coincidence. It was a deliberate arrangement by fate, the gentlest redemption for the soul-stirring regrets of their parents. The love between Junha and Jo-hee has come full circle through the passage of time, transcending countless tribulations and missed opportunities, only to find its most beautiful continuation in their children. If love has providence, then perhaps this is its most poignant and most tender manifestation. It may have kept two people who loved each other apart, yet guided by fate it allowed their children to meet and fall in love once more. Transcending the boundaries of time and space, this love finds its eternity in another form. The classic is like a lyric poem steeped in the passage of time. The story of Junha and Jo-hee is an elegy of profound regret, but it is this very sense of regret that makes the children's ultimate union so precious and full of redemptive power. It teaches us that some missed connections in life are perhaps not meant to cause you misery, but to give a deeper meaning to a future encounter. So when you look back at the relationships that faded away, and the ones you loved but could never have, perhaps you can see them differently. They are not the failed chapters of your life. They might just be gathering strength for your ultimate destiny. Serving as a foreshadowing, love as a form of energy is conserved. It never disappears. It only waits to manifest in another way, in a future time and space, to give you the warmest resonance. This is the gentlest and most magnificent proof of providence.